Hey everyone, how's it going? Welcome back to Chef Vic Cuisine. Today, we're making pan-seared scallops. Now, scallops are always a great seafood option, but they can be pretty sensitive on how you cook them. Cook them too little and they're still raw, cook them too much and they become rubbery. So it's my hope that with this video, I'll teach you the technique to create perfectly pan-seared scallops. So, let's get started. So the best thing about this recipe is that there's not that many ingredients. So all you'll need are 12 large sea scallops, some kosher salt to taste, as well as freshly ground black pepper to taste, 1 teaspoon of garlic powder, 1 tablespoon of extra virgin olive oil, 1 tablespoon of unsalted butter, and finally the juice of half a lemon. So, getting things started, the best word of advice I can give you all is that if you're looking for that restaurant level quality, you definitely want to buy fresh sea scallops. They're normally easily found at a seafood market near you, and if you don't have that available to you where you live, you can always use frozen sea scallops as well. Just make sure you're using sea scallops and not bay scallops. So whether they're frozen or fresh, sea scallops are normally within a brine, and so what you want to do is rinse the scallops off with cold water and then pat them dry using a paper towel. Now you want to liberally sprinkle on some kosher salt to the tops of all the sea scallops, pressing the salt into the flesh of the scallops. And this may seem like a lot, but don't worry, during the cooking process, a lot of the salt falls off, so the end result won't be too salty at all. So you're going to follow that up with some freshly ground black pepper and just season the tops of all the scallops as well with that. Finally, you want to take half of the garlic powder and sprinkle that onto the tops of the scallops as well. And just make sure you press all that seasoning into the flesh of the scallops again. Now you just want to flip them all over and repeat the same process with the seasonings. So you want to season the other side of the scallops with the kosher salt, the black pepper, and the remaining garlic powder. And after that, you can set those aside for now. Don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe to this channel, and hit the bell icon to be notified when my next video drops. And stay tuned until the end of this video for a sneak peek of the recipe coming next week. Now, in a large frying pan, you want to add the 1 tablespoon of extra virgin olive oil. You want to turn the stovetop to high heat, or 450 degrees Fahrenheit, or 232 degrees Celsius, and allow the pan to heat up. So once the pan is hot, you should start to see the oil begin to smoke. And a way to test if the pan is ready, you can always sprinkle a few drops of water in the pan, and if it sizzles, the pan is ready for the scallops. So now you want to place the scallops into the pan, starting at the 12 o'clock position of the pan and moving clockwise around with the consecutive scallops. This really helps with the timing of the cook of the scallops. The scallops should cook for about a minute before the flesh turns light brown and is ready to flip. You just want to make sure that you don't overcook the scallops, otherwise they become really rubbery and nobody wants that. So by the time that you reach the 11 o'clock position by adding the last scallop, the first scallop you put in should have already cooked for about a minute. So starting at the first scallop you placed at the 12 o'clock position, you want to turn the scallop over using tongs. And you want to keep going in the same pattern you started, clockwise, and keep flipping the scallops until you reach the 11 o'clock position. And when all the scallops are flipped, you want to add in the butter and squeeze the fresh lemon juice over the tops of all the scallops. Now you want to allow this side of the scallops to cook for about a minute as well. And this won't take long, so definitely monitor the pan. These scallops only need to sear on this side for about 1 minute. So at most, I know some people love the taste of the caramelized sear on one end of the scallop, so if you want to cook the scallop until you have a nice browning on one side, then that would be the limit. but you don't want to overcook these, as if you cook them all the way through, the texture is ruined. And another variation of this recipe for added flavor, after removing the scallops, you can always turn the heat down and deglaze the pan with about half a cup of white wine, a dry one favorably. And you just want to allow this liquid to reduce for about a minute before pouring the glaze on top of the scallops. So after about a minute, you want to remove the scallops from the heat and place them on a paper towel lined plate to drain any excess oil. And you want to serve these hot and enjoy. And just like that, you've made your very own homemade pan-seared scallops. These have that amazing flavor and texture that you're looking for. These have a garlic buttery taste, and the texture is as soft as a marshmallow. I can't stress enough that you don't want to overcook the scallops. You end up with a rubbery, gummy seafood dish that often tastes a little too fishy. As always, this recipe and many more can be found in my cookbook, Chef Vic Cuisine, Volume 1, Finding Your Inner Chef, and it's available on Amazon, and I'll be sure to leave a link to that in the description box. Thank you all for watching, and if you've enjoyed this video, make sure to smash that like button, subscribe to this channel, and hit the bell notification to be notified when my next video drops. And stay tuned for next week, where I show you how to make my delicious strawberry banana smoothie. It's super easy to make, and it'll be gone before you know it. Well, thanks again for watching, and I'll see you next week on another episode of Chef Vic Cuisine, and until then, peace.